Welcome to what will be the final static display video for the Joysway Invincible Razor build. I have everything done. It's all repainted, it's fully assembled, water lines are in, it's floated in the tub, it's ready to hit the water once everything defrosts. Let's take a closer look at everything I've done. Focusing in on the stern, the turn fins are fully mounted. They are 90 degrees to the bottom of the hull and 45 degrees from the transom. So we've got a 45-degree angle from the center of the screw to the tip of the turn fin. Trim tabs are mounted so that the bottom of the trim tab is about 1.5 millimeters off of the bottom of the hull. They're also set to neutral, meaning they are parallel to the bottom of the hull. So both those are set. The stinger strut is mounted so it's pushed to the bottom of the travel, and it is also set neutral, meaning it is parallel to the bottom of the hull. I've got the 42 millimeter prop on here. It's just the plastic prop for now so I can test it. I've got dual water pickups, the water pickup in the rudder. This goes to the motor. This water pickup goes to the ESC. This for now is just homemade. I actually took a brass eyelet, screwed it in, took some brass tubing, and I actually have an angle cut on the face of this. So this is just temporary until I get the permanent water pickup mount. I did float test this to see what leaks. I do have some leaking around looks like around the trim tab bolts. I have not put caulk into the holes, which I probably need to do that because there's quite a bit of water coming in. So I'll do that before I actually run it. So taking a look at midships, I've got water outlets. For the front water outlet is the ESC because the ESC is mounted towards the bow. The rear water outlet is for the motor. So I've got, ESC is closer to the bow, so that's where I've got the water outlet. So I can keep an eye on, how the water flow is on both of those. Receiver antenna is mounted. The receiver is actually up in the front, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. On the bow, I've got the tow hook mounted, and that one's already caulked. So I put caulk in the screw holes and then screwed it down so then no water can get in there. So for the hatch tie down, I actually used a long wall anchor screw. It's got this nice pointy tip on it already, so that's kind of self-guides into the boat. Created a little gasket here. So until I can find a long enough thumb screw, I'm gonna have to deal with this. On the front, there's that big hole in the hatch. And what I found was someone sent me some video of one of these boats actually online. And the way it's set up is the pin is actually inside the boat instead of like with the Stealth Wake and the Shockwave that we have. It's not on the hatch, it's actually on the boat. This is a screw that's actually that goes into a 1/4 inch diameter brass tube that's just epoxied in there. So the way this works now is the hatch goes in, slides into the pin, and then comes down and you screw it on in the back. So that's how the hatch works. So now a tour of the inside. So there's the 150 amp ESC. The capacitor bank is actually just velcroed into place. You can see there's the water cooling loop for the ESC. This is the Y connector to get my 6S from my dual 3-cell batteries. The motor is mounted in. This is the flex cable saver. Everything is mounted. The flex shaft is in. It's greased. It's ready to go. The water cooling line loops down, runs along the bottom of the hull, and goes into the water pickup going to the rudder. On the battery trays, I've got, I call them my battery bumpers, so that hopefully keeps the batteries from sliding off of the tray. Steering servo is mounted. Everything is in place on this guy. Again, there's the water outlet on the motor going to the rear water outlet on the side of the hull. Switching sides now. So here's the ESC cooling line that runs along the side of the hull inside and goes to the water pickup on this side, which is the new added separate water pickup. Again, I've got the battery stops in place here on this battery tray. The receiver is in here in a balloon. Because the servo is in the back and the ESC is in the front for weight, I had to get a servo extension lead. That's what you see kind of here, this wrapped up wire. So I wanted the receiver originally in the back, but after reading online, there's a lot of debate on using servo extension wires on an ESC. So I just said the heck with it, put the servo up in the front and use the servo extension on the steering servo instead of on the ESC. And then lastly, for the hatch tie down, in here is a 632 threaded nut that is just mounted into place. So there's the look at the inside. Everything's bolted into place and ready to go. Notice the big foam block here. The whole bow is stuffed full of this polystyrene foam. I just cut this nice piece here to kind of block off all the pieces that are crammed up in there. See the turn fins. See, there's the trim tabs. They're not